Hello, I'm Imflakes, and I would say I'm pretty darn good at playing video games. Specifically, fighting video games. And I would also tell you that I believe I am very well versed in understanding video game mechanics. I mean, look at my YouTube channel. We've amassed 3,800 total viewers. A lot of those viewers have come from videos about retrospectives of video games. And as I've gone back and really opened up a lens on these fighting games, I've noticed how poorly designed the newer ones are. And that's what we're going to talk about today. Can we segue? Yeah. For this video, I want to exclusively include games that were solely played on this channel. No games that I've played on my own time. So, I'm going to take these games and use certain gameplay mechanics and instances from this game to explain why I believe, personally, new games are being developed in poor taste. I'll use Dragon Ball Sparking Zero to touch on issues such as overtuning and balancing in new generation fighting game titles. I believe the first thing that we should touch on when talking about Sparking Zero and overtuning and balancing in any game, in any video game aspect, is the community. If you ask me, in my unprofessional opinion, I believe that there's a lot of things wrong with the Sparking Zero community and the way they perceive the game, but I think the worst and most prominent issue when talking about balancing and overtuning is this word right here. The best juxtaposition I could give for the word counterplay would be a game of rock, paper, and scissors. In its simplest terms, counterplay can be used to counter the play effectively of another playstyle. The only problem is that in this instance, if someone's spamming scissors, even though rock is a solid counterplay, due to it being pretty hard to pull off, people would just spam scissors regardless. While the developers at Bankai were probably doing this to incentivize player growth and skill, what it actually gave us was players struggling to this style of gameplay heavily favored to one side of the gameplay loop. I think a lot of these issues could be resolved if the MO of games nowadays weren't that you had to be competitive or there has to be a ranked mode to show off your skill to other players. I think it's been evident since the first gameplay showcase of Sparking Zero that this game was never meant to be competitive. I think a simple ranked mode would have sufficed, but holding down R2 for an extended period of time and winning is never good. Moving on to the next game. The Mortal Kombat trailer released in May of 2023, and I had super high expectations for this game as I am a huge Mortal Kombat fan. Without much second thought, I instantly thought to myself, hey, I'm gonna get that game on release. That was until I became skeptical after playing the beta of the game. You see, as more information about this game came out, we learned that it would have a new system called cameos, and these cameos would be an integral part to the gameplay. Now, Mortal Kombat is no stranger to gimmick mechanics. Even before NetherRealm took over and MKX had its cameo system, Midway already introduced gimmick mechanics with Deadly Alliance and Armageddon, adding stances in certain game modes that weren't integral to the part of the gameplay, but you could do it if you wanted to. During the beta, it's important to note that the only 3 cameos allowed were Jax, Sonya, and Kano because no other cameos had been developed at that point. So I gave it a bit of leeway. I was thinking to myself, okay, there's no variety, and when the full game comes out, we should be expecting more and better. I can tell you right now, that was not the case. But before I do any of that, can we go back to MK11 for a little bit? With the introduction of MK11 also came the introduction of Fatal Blows, which meant that the X-ray system was gone. The X-ray system being gone, this also meant that the meter was gone. In Mortal Kombat games prior, like MKX and MK9, the meter could be used for more than just your X-ray. It could be used to do meter burn or EX, which enhanced the special move that you did, leading to more damage. This allowed for players to think more about their gameplay and not just use their meter for their X-ray, say that they needed a breaker. In competitive modes, a lot of the times you wouldn't see X-rays be done unless someone was entirely sure that they would win the game. Now take all the skill and resource management of an X-ray, erase it all, and allow someone to take 30% of your health because they were losing to you. That's what Fatal Blow was. Now, for obvious reasons, this made a lot of higher competitive skill players upset. I mean, who wouldn't be upset? You're losing because you're winning. Started a trend with NetherRealm making sure that instead of being good with your player, you were good with the gimmick mechanic, which is when we circle back to cameos. Okay, so the full game is out now. Let's see what the cameo system has to offer, not only in competitive, but in casual play. Okay, this seems a bit repetitive, but it's just one cameo. Maybe if we move on to another cameo, people are going to play them differently, right? Oh, okay, it looks like everyone plays the same cameo the exact same way. Maybe people in competitive play it differently, and really use this system deeply. Oh, it looks like everyone competitive uses the cameos the same way. So, where's the variety in the cameo system? I think the answer and resolution to this problem is a lot more deep and complex than people like to give it credit for. I believe that there is a level of variety to be had with the gameplay. There's no point in doing it if there's one character that's meta and almost anyone's character is compatible with one cameo. A perfect example of this is when Combat Pack 1 and Combat Pack 2 both came out with new cameos, and guess what? Everyone was using that cameo. It was compatible with every character. So guess what? If you have this cameo, you can win out. Not to mention that using the cameo is attached to one button prompt. I mean, the most complex it gets is Shujinko, which has a high skill ceiling, but when you can use Serena and just press R1 and forward or left, then why? I think that the problem lies deeper with the gimmick system in Mortal Kombat 1. Let's say you don't want to use the cameos. Well, guess what? You can't play online because your type of playstyle isn't comparable for this type of game. So I guess you'll just have to sit this MK out and wait till the right gimmick is right for you. Right? Because that's totally how it works. I'm going to go off script a little bit here for my multiverses section because I wanted to talk about monetization not only in video games but also in corporate America. I feel like this is a huge problem going on, and it doesn't start with or stop with multiverses. For those who don't play this game, but trust me, there are a lot of people who don't play this game, there are multiple forms of currency abiding to this game. There's fighter currency, perk currency, premium, prestige points. There's even gemstone perks that could be accoladed to an offline mode. And for those not aware, in this new season, the fighter currency that I just talked about is completely thrown out of the window for this thing called the Fighter Road, which the grind is still abnormally unuser friendly, meaning that majority of the time you're just gonna have to cough up to $10 to play the character that you want to play. These underhanded practices are nothing new. Even in Mortal Kombat 1, the monetization is really non-user friendly, and just overall Warner Bros is known for having these practices in all of the forms of media, which is very predatory if you're asking me. As far as the monetization goes for this game and also other fighting games and media, there's increasingly been a number of underhanded monetization issues that feel predatory at times towards certain communities, and the people are beginning to speak up about it, which is great to begin with, but I don't think that they care very much. As long as we keep giving into the same DLC or the same fighter packs, they're gonna keep dropping them. Look at Chaos Reigns, they charge $50. For those who don't know, that's $20 less than the base game. They came with 33 characters on launch or something like that, along with a plethora of skins and an entire story mode. Now take that, take $20 off, give you less content and less characters. Wow. In conclusion, just play Sifu. Hello guys, this is post editing and post commentary, Jaden here. I didn't know that this video would land on a Christmas day. It did. I have one more video planned for the rest of the year, but this is pretty much the last video I'll post in 2024. I wanted to thank those who stayed for this long. I wish you a very happy and healthy Christmas. I love you. Hope you enjoyed the video. In the comment section, please tell me your favorite part and what you think in your opinion. Goodbye. There's no outro. It's Imflakes signing out.